What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Techno Geek. I am Andrew. Last time I did a really bad unboxing of the Roccat Nyth. You can get things 3D printed for this, which makes it even more modular. Well, today I'm going to try and do a better job and give you an in-depth overview of my experience with this mouse. I had been searching for a gaming mouse for quite some time to meet my multifaceted needs when gaming, ranging from MMOs to FPSs to normal RPGs like Dragon Age to sports games like Rocket League. What? Driving around with rockets attached to cars and hitting balls into a goal isn't a sport? Pfft. I first came across the Nyth when Paul's Hardware covered it at Computex all the way back in June. And I was very excited and could not wait for it to come to market. Initially, it was a bit pricey. I decided to continue weighing my options, but recently it has seen a price drop, and I felt that it would be a justifiable purchase at this new price point. I've had some time now to play around with the Nyth and the Swarm software, and I've developed a love-hate relationship respectively. I love the innovative but not perfect modular design, and the mouse has made my MMO experience so much better, but I absolutely hate the Swarm software. It has a lot of features that aren't very easy to implement, and I found that there's no way to add custom profile without tricking the software by saving a blank text document with the .rmp extension. Once I did that, I was able to add profiles normally, but it took me forever to get there. The mouse itself did impress me enough to overlook the shoddy yet thorough software and not box it up and ship it back to Amazon. As I said before, it made my MMO experience so much better, and it kind of felt like I was playing with like a hybrid controller. The swappable side grips are a godsend because I was looking at mice that had a thinner grip to them, more like a claw gripper type of mouse, but I found it to be much more comfortable to use the wide stance, and that was a little bit more ergonomic for me. Might differ for you, but for me that was the best. The reprogrammable button layout is another awesome feature, as you can swap the buttons to your own preference, change the layout across multiple games, or keep the same layout and just change what each button does with each specific game. The mouse does have a very nice braided cable. It's not the best I've ever seen, as I mentioned in my unboxing, but it is an added feature that this mouse does have. I did have a few gripes with the design though. The button release is just a mess, and it's really hard to replace just one button without a few or all of the buttons dropping out with it. You will lose some of the order of the buttons, which drives my OCD crazy, but you don't notice it if you don't look at it that much. Finally, and this is the biggest for me, the liftoff distance is way too high. And the laser sensitivity is also way too high by default. You can adjust the settings in the Swarm software, but even on the lowest LOD and sensitivity, it's still not perfect. It still kind of joggles around a little bit when the bass gets a little high. And that kind of sucks when you got like grenades explosions going off and your mouse is kind of jumping all over the place. It doesn't really take me out of the game, but it does make it a little bit harder, especially, you know, if I'm just a little bit off of actually getting that headshot. I'm not at all impressed by the Swarm software. I found that while it was packed with great features, some were just difficult to implement, and others could use some fine-tuning. Like the color chooser, I found it impossible to really get the exact color that you want. I had to really first go to color. It's a thing that Adobe has online, and get the RGB values from there, and then I would add them into the Swarm software, and then I could have the right color. It's just not really ideal in my opinion. I would have liked to have seen an actual box where you can, like in most color choosers, rather than the little slider bar that it has. It's just not very good. There's no OSD for DPI switching, which is something that I absolutely loved about Razer Synapse. Let's see, assigning a hotkey, while not really rocket science, could be a bit quicker and more user-friendly. I found that there's no way to change the LED color when the easy shift button is depressed. I actually contacted customer service about this, and they sent me an email back saying that there is no way to change it. It's hard programmed into the firmware of the mouse. So no matter what you do, when you click the easy shift button, it's going to turn to a blue color, which isn't so bad, I guess, because when you hit the easy shift, your hand's going to be covering the mouse most of the time. But when this mouse really specializes in having that RGB light and that customization, and you can't customize the easy shift, I think that's a huge letdown. Overall, I'd have to say that I'm very happy with this mouse. It has improved my gaming experience across the board and even made me a bit better at FPS games. I like the modular design of the mouse, and it feels great in my hand. Despite the terrible software and the inability to customize the LED and easy shift mode, I will be keeping the Nyth on my desk even as I continue to upgrade my PC and peripherals. So I want to thank everyone for sticking around and hearing my experience with the Nyth. If you have one, I'd like to know what you think about it, or if you'd like to get one, leave me a comment down below, and I'll see everybody next time.